Yeah, well, it does feel like it's far below freezing right now. I'll tell you what, it is cold, cold, cold here in Everett. Driving up I-5 a few hours ago, it did not look like this. It's pretty clear, and it looks like the snow is pretty much gone up here, but earlier today it was a mess. I was going 20 miles an hour, and I still saw people fishtailing all over. If you go to some of this earlier video that we had from the side streets, from smaller streets, you can still see people having issues. I mean, the snow up here fell up to almost a foot in some areas. Really hard hit up in the North Sound, and definitely going slow was the name of the game today, but not for sledders, of course. They took to the hills and were going pretty fast. It's a lot safer if you're on a sled. Here's what some of the kids who got the day off had to say.
Never too old, never too young.
What is your favorite part about having the day off?
Probably all the snow and sledding, and yeah, and not having to go to school.
What do you think about the roads?
Bad. Yeah. Well, we got right now. It's kind of slush. It's going to turn to ice, I'm sure. It'll be fine.
And we did get word earlier today, a few hours ago, from Washington State Patrol that they responded to almost 150 accidents in Snohomish County. I can say just driving around myself, I have all-wheel drive, and if you don't go slow and you try to hit your brakes, you're going to be in trouble. It is really hard to stop out there, so we can't emphasize enough to just, if you have to go out and drive, to make sure you are very careful and you go very slowly. Curious to hear what's going on over in West Seattle with my colleague Chris Daniels. What are you seeing out there, Chris?
Hi, Allison. We have snow everywhere here in West Seattle on the hills. It's been windy throughout the afternoon and the evening. It's windy right now, and I can tell you that I can see the ice forming here on some of the residential hills. That thin layer of snow has been good news or bad news, depending on your perspective.
Oh, it's pretty much ghost town, which is kind of nice.
2 words. Snow day.
Today is an epic snow day for Seattle.
Wow! They mean different things
It was fun.
to different people.
Kind of hurt.
All the schools closed. Tons and tons of kids screaming everywhere, which is, I think, how it should be.
That white glow warmed some hearts today.
The airport shuttle could not get up to get me today.
Chilled others.
Horrific. Horrific, very horrific.
That's 3 horrifics to describe some city roads.
I just think a lot of individuals are just expecting that their cars are just impervious to the conditions. I mean, as you can see, it's looks like the inside of my refrigerator.
Yes, Mount Queen Anne might have been a popular spot, but the trails, not so much.
You okay?
Seattle prioritized its snow response.
We're better prepared than the city.
Putting down a brine mix on main arterials, which really didn't make an impact until early afternoon. 3 dozen plows did the rest. The state had 100 more working the freeways. It left a lot of people
It is a little bit of a problem.
on ice.
And I'm from California, so this is my 2nd week in Seattle. Maybe later I start drinking hot coffee.
And depending on how you see it,
Just complete city shutdown.
there is potential more good news or bad news. 2 words, more snow.
Yeah, that's potentially later in the week, and perhaps SDOT learned a lesson today. That brine mixture that they put down took a little bit to activate because we had the snow carrying on throughout the afternoon, and yes, it's going to be cold tonight, which means ice. And I don't want to be Debbie Downer on you, but there was one person that was taken to Harborview today because of a sledding accident. So if you're going to hit these hills, whether you're driving or whether you're sledding, be careful. That's the story for now, live in West Seattle as the cars continue to drive. Chris Daniels, King 5 News.